Hi viewers, welcome to Shaker's Bio Factory for NEET. If you like this video, subscribe my channel and click on bell icon to get notification. In this video, I am going to explain one of the topic in Anatomy of Flowering Plants chapter. It is transverse section of root. Root is a vegetative part generally present inside of the soil, and the entire root system it is developed from radicle of embryo during seed germination. In plants, generally two types of root system is present. In this first type is taproot system and second type is fibrous root system. In case of dicotyledon plants, it consists of a permanent root system. It is developed from radicle. It is called taproot system. In case of monocotyledon plants, the radical root is temporary and it degenerates. After degenerating this temporary roots from radicle, many cluster of roots developed from basal node of the stem. It is called fibrous root system. The main function of root system is it acts as a anchorage to plant body and helps to fix the entire plant body to the soil. Along with this root system absorb water and dissolved minerals from soil, and these absorbed water and minerals are transported to aerial parts of plant body. Along with that, it have a capability to store little bit of food materials. In dicotyledon plants, it consists of taproot system. In this, the dicotyledon plant having a taproot system with a long main root and it grow vertically towards downside of the soil. From this main root, many lateral roots are developed in the form of branches, and these are called as secondary roots and tertiary roots. So to understand the tissue organization in dicot root, it is necessary to take its transverse section. In the transverse section of dicotyledon plant root system, by taking sunflower as an example, in the transverse section of dicot root, the organization is as follows. The first part in transverse section, it is epidermis, and second part is cortex, and third part is stele. The epidermis is also called epiblema. The first part is epidermis or epiblema. So epidermis is the outermost layer in transverse section and it covers entire root structure. And this epidermis it is present with a single layer of parenchymatous cells. Some of the epidermal cells they can form a slender unicellular protrude in the form of hair-like structure. It is called root hair. So the root hair it have a nature, it increases more surface area than normal epidermal cell. So the main function of this root hair is because of more absorption surface area, it absorbs water and minerals from soil, especially this root hair can easily penetrate in between soil grains to absorb more water and minerals. But there is no cuticle outside of these epidermal cells in case of root. The second part in transverse section is cortex. Just below to the epidermis, there are several layers of cortex, and last layer is endodermis, so that it is present in between epidermis and stele with many layers of parenchymatous cells called cortex. The cortex cells are parenchymatous cells with a thin cell wall, and the cells are loosely packed to allow the water movement through it. The innermost and last layer in cortex is called endodermis, and this endodermis it acts as a boundary in between cortex and stele. The important characters of this endodermis is the endodermis. It is present with a single layer of barrel-shaped cells, and these barrel-shaped cells it consists of a waxy material called suberin in their radial walls and tangential walls in the form of Casparian strips. The main function of this Casparian strip is it prevents the water entry from stele to surrounding cortex. The third part in transfer section is stele. So all tissues which are present towards inside of the endodermis called stele, and in this stele the main parts are pericycle, vascular bundles and pith, and all these are constitute stele. The first part in stele is pericycle. So pericycle is a part present just below to the endodermis around the stele with thick-walled parenchymatous cells. Sometimes this pericycle present with either single layer or sometimes with several layers. The cells of pericycle it have an important role during secondary growth because these parenchymatous pericycle cells undergoes redifferentiation to form meristematic tissue. It is called cambium or vascular cambium. So the cambium is present in dicot root but is not present at beginning. This cambium is absent at earlier stages, but during growth and development, the pericycle can produce the cambium useful for secondary growth. At this time, the cambium can form in the form of a ring. It is called cambium ring. Along with that, the pericycle having one more very important function. It is due to divisions in pericycle cells, it can produces lateral roots. Along with that, vascular cambium can produced by pericycle to perform secondary growth. The second part in stele is vascular bundles. Both xylem and phloem are called as vascular bundles, and these vascular bundles are arranged on different radial walls in the form of patches, and such arrangement is called as radial vascular bundle arrangement. In xylem of dicot root, especially the metaxylem, it is present towards center and protoxylem present towards peripheral. That condition is called exorxylem. It is the main characteristic feature of root. In this stele, generally 2 to 6 patches of xylem and phloem are present on radial walls. Usually 2 to 4 are present in dicot root. If stele it consists of 2 xylem and 2 phloem patches, that condition is called dior condition. If the stele it consists of 3 xylem and 3 phloem patches, that condition is called trior condition. But in most of the cases, the stele consists of 4 xylem and 4 phloem patches called tetrarch condition. So generally dicot root is tetrarch as it consists of 4 xylem patches on radial walls alternate with the phloem. In between xylem and phloem, there is a parenchymatous cells. These are called conjunctive tissue. One more important feature, pith. It is present at the center, made up of parenchymatous cells. It consists of intercellular spaces. In case of dicot root, the pith is not well developed, but sometimes it may be present with small and inconspicuous. These are the characters of dicot root transfer section. Along with that, one more root transfer section. It is transfer section of monocotyledon plant root system. In the anatomy of monocot root, it is completely similar to dicot root in many respects, but we can find some important differences at a few locations in both dicot and monocot root transfer section. Monocotyledon roots, it consists of various tissue organization in its anatomy like epidermis or epiblema. Second part is cortex. Third part is stele. The first one is epidermis or epiblema. So epidermis, it is the outermost layer of transverse section and having large number of unicellular root aids from its structure. But cuticle along with stomata are completely absent in root epidermis. The second part is cortex. So cortex, it is present in between epidermis and stele. In this cortex, many parenchyma cells are present compactly with intercellular spaces. The last layer in cortex is endodermis and it is present around the stele made up of barrel-shaped cells having Casparian strips and very distinct in feature. The third part is stele. The cells of pericycle which is present below to the endodermis, due to their divisions it can produces lateral roots. But in monocot root, pericycle never produces cambium, so that secondary growth is completely absent in monocot root. The vascular bundles which are present in stele, these are radial types. That means both xylem and phloem patches are alternatively present on radial walls. There are usually 6 or more than 6 number of xylem and phloem patches are present on radial walls. That condition is referred to as polyarch condition. The parenchyma cells present between xylem and phloem patches is referred to as conjunctive tissue. In case of monocot root, at the center it consists of large and well-developed parenchymatous pith. So these are the characters of monocotyledon root transfer section. Along with that, we can find some important differences in between dicot and monocot root in its anatomy. The differences between TS of dicot root and TS of monocot root. In case of dicot root, pericycle, it can produce cambium. But in monocot root, pericycle never produces cambium. The cambium which is produced in stele, it helps in secondary growth. But such type of secondary growth not present in monocot root. So passage cells are completely absent in dicot root, but passage cells are present in endodermis without suberin. These are opposite to xylem patches. In case of dicot root transfer section, 2 to 6 xylem and phloem patches are present, but in monocot root, more than 6 xylem and phloem patches are present. It is called polyarch condition. In dicot root transfer section, pith is very small and inconspicuous. But in case of monocot root, pith is large and conspicuous, made up of parenchymatous cells. So these are the some important differences in between transfer section of dicot root and monocot root, but in remaining characters both having similarities. Thanks for watching.